Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Draw. I'm your host, BJ Dell, and today is a very special episode because I have a guest host with me. That's right, it's my wife, Mrs. Dell. Thought this would be a cool video to do because this week's actually our anniversary. So we've been married
21 years.
21 years, a very long time. So I thought, get her on camera. She absolutely hates this idea, but I think it's gonna be fun. So we'll see. So I've seen a lot of comments on the videos from people saying that they thought it was too late to start drawing. So tell them about your drawing ability, your skill level with drawing. How good are you?
Absolutely no skill.
None.
Nothing. I can't draw.
So she can't draw. This is going to be a tutorial all about Procreate. Just to show you guys, it's never too late to start. This one, honestly, it's going to be a very basic tutorial. So it's going to be Procreate for beginners. We're going to talk about all the different features that you can use if you're a beginner, if you have no drawing skill. She's going to be testament to this, and you can see what's possible. So if you want to learn about that and see me put her through hell on camera, keep watching. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into the video. So for this one, I'm going to be using the iPad Pro 2020 model. This is a Gen 4 12.9 inch, the Apple Gen 2 pencil. Mrs. Dell is going to be using my old 12.9 inch Gen 1 iPad Pro along with the Gen 1 Apple pencil. The app, of course, is Procreate. And like I said, Mrs. Dell never used Procreate before. So this is going to be very just jumping off from a beginner standpoint. We're going to talk about, how to make the canvas, how to do everything. So let's go ahead and start. Grab your pencil.
Okay,
here we go. All right. So first thing we're going to do, make a new canvas. So you've got a plus button up here,
okay,
in the top right-hand corner. Go ahead and hit that.
Okay.
And then there's another plus button with the folders there. And for this one, we're gonna make a 4,000 by 4,000 pixel canvas. So it's already flashing here. Just go ahead and type in 4,000. Then go ahead and click down to the height. Type in 4,000 there. And then you guys might notice, like I said, Gen 4, this is a 2020 model I've talked about in the previous videos. This one has more RAM in it, so I get 37 available layers at this size. You can see on Mrs. Dell, she gets 29. That's something I talked about in the previous video, so you can kind of see that in action here. So we got the canvas started, so let's go ahead and hit Create on the top right-hand corner, yellow button.
Okay.
And there we go. So our canvas is up. Let's go ahead and pinch to zoom out just a little bit there. Okay, so this is the canvas we're going to be working with. Now, I went ahead already and created a palette for these. So if you hit your little circle up there, you can bring up your palettes.
Okay.
You'll see it's going to come up right there. Those are all the colors we're going to use. If you guys want to follow along at home with this, you can go ahead and download this palette. I'm going to make it just a JPEG that you can save, import into your files, and then bring it into a layer. And you can make this palette. I'm not going to actually upload the Procreate palette file just because people do have a hard time getting that into there. I think it's just easier using the JPEG. So if you guys go to bjdell.com, there's a YouTube reference section link on there. You can click on there and get this palette. So we got our canvas ready. We know where the palette is. First thing we're going to do, like I said in the intro, we're going to draw a cute cartoon owl. So let's go ahead and start. We're basically going to be using the shape tool. And if you haven't used that before, you're going to learn how to do it now. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's go up to the brush up in the top panel here. Okay. That's our brush. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and use Bold Inker. We're on BJ Dell. We're going to use Bold Inker by BJ Dell. This one's part of my custom brush set that's available on Gumroad. I'll link that in the description below, but honestly, for this, you can use pretty much any brush to do this. We're only going to use two brushes. We're going to use the Bold Inker, and then we're going to switch over to a texture brush later, and we will get to that when we come to it. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and just go ahead and click your brush again.
Okay. Right. This is my first time ever doing this, guys. I'm a little nervous.
You're going to do fine. It's going to be good. Seriously, you're going to surprise yourself by the end of the video, and then you're going to be like, oh, I want to do this all the time. So let's go ahead and pick our color. So go up to your top right-hand corner, pick your color palettes there. And we're just basically going to be going from left to right on this. So we want that first kind of aqua blue color. That's going to be what our owl is. So you see it changed it up here.
Okay.
So we're good. Go ahead and click back to your brush now. And then just click on the screen there. Okay. So this is where the shape tools come in. So if you want to watch me first, basically you're just going to draw a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay, good.
Because Procreate's going to help us with that. So if you just draw a circle like this and connect it.
Okay.
And then keep holding down. So just draw a circle.
Uh-oh.
Is it connected?
Kind of.
Oh, keep holding down. So
okay, so how do I get out of this?
So 2 fingers is undo.
Oh, I like that.
So let me go ahead. I'm going to make my brush smaller because mine's really big compared to yours. And once again, just
okay, so big circle.
Just a big circle, and then hold down.
Okay. Big circle.
And hold down.
And hold down.
It should lock. Okay,
there
now keep holding down.
Okay.
Now with your finger on your other hand.
Oh, crud.
Did you let go?
Yep.
Okay, just 2 fingers. Okay. So once again, big circle, hold down. It'll snap, and then hold your other finger down, and it'll snap it to a perfect circle, and then just let up.
Okay.
So there we go. So we got a perfect circle. So let's go ahead and hold down up here on your color and drag and drop it.
Hold on.
Over.
Wait a minute. That one?
Yep.
Okay, hold on. So drag, pull it over, drag it.
Yeah, just hold down, drag and drop, and then let go.
Okay.
And it fills it in. So you got
that's fun.
Your circle filled in now. So we don't want really a perfect circle for the owl's head. So we're going to change this just a little bit. And with this, you'll see sometimes too, I want to bring this up. If we zoom in here, this kind of has a jagged edge to it. And I think you can see on yours, yours does too. So let's back out one more time. And I find this works easier. So let's go ahead and put the pencil down for a second.
Okay.
Just use your finger to draw the circle.
Okay.
Hold down until it snap, and then put your other finger, hold it, and let go.
It didn't connect all the way.
Didn't connect. Okay, try it one more time.
Okay.
No. One more time.
Oh my god.
You gotta let them both. Keep holding down with your left and let your right one up first. So hold down, left, and let go with your right. There you go.
Okay.
So there we go. We got
that looks better.
Perfect circles. So let's go ahead and once again we can drag and drop our colors in. Oh, you don't have to change it back. There you go. Okay. There you go. Now, one thing, if you guys are new to Procreate, if you're having problems to where when you're dragging it in and it's filling in the whole screen like this, means your color drop threshold is too high. So with that, if you keep holding down, you can change this. So you see that slider? If you've got it filling in all the way, it means it's too high. So if you drop it down to something below 100%, it's not going to fill in the whole screen. Likewise, if you're dragging and dropping that in and you're getting little white parts around there, it means it's not turned up high enough. So this is going to be the head, but we don't really want a perfect circle. So this is where some of the adjustments come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to our arrow up here.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and hit that. And then we're going to go to the warp, far right.
Okay.
And what this does is allows us to kind of change the overall shape. So if we drag in, if you go right up to the center and the top and just kind of drag down, which this might actually work better with the...
And just drag it down?
Drag it down like this.
Okay.
You'll see it'll start to change the overall shape.
How far do we down? Want it down?
Let's get it down. It's right about there.
There?
Yep. Looks good. Let go. Okay. And then if we hit the brush, that's going to lock it back in. Now, of course, it's going to be kind of too low, so we're going to move it up. So if you go back to your arrow again, hit that. We're still on warp, though. We don't want to warp it anymore. So you want to go to freeform, click that, and then just somewhere in the middle, click or hold down and just drag it up. Kind of close to the top, but not too far.
Is that good?
Maybe up a little bit further. There we go. That should be good.
Okay.
All right. And let's go ahead. We're actually going to make it a little bit smaller. I think it's going to be too big. So if you grab the side here.
The corner?
Yep. Grab that and just kind of drag it in. Push it up towards an angle. Oh, I don't know why yours is doing that, because you're on freeform. It shouldn't be doing that. Let's go ahead and get back out of it. Try it again now. Let's see. There we go.
Okay.
So make it just a little bit smaller. About that size.
Good.
Just a tad bit smaller. There we go. That's good.
Okay.
And then once again, just click in the middle and get them kind of centered up there at the top. Just kind of centered in the middle of the canvas.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good. So go ahead and hit the brush then. It's going to lock it in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the eyes. So let's go ahead and go to these two squares stacked on top of each other. That's your layers menu.
Okay.
And we want to make a new layer. So the plus button right there. And this is going to be our eye. It's going to sit on top of that shape that we already did. So go ahead and go over to your color palette here. And we're going to go to the white color. Okay, so we've got that. Just click there. And once again, we just want a circle here in the center. So just do circle, hold down again, and let go.
It's not kind of on the side.
And you can do it with your, it really doesn't matter where it is. You can do it with your fingers. So that way it doesn't do that little jagged part. Okay. And then go ahead and drag and drop. Is that all the way in there?
I
Can't
don't
tell
know.
if there's a gap.
It's got a gap. So double click.
Yep, two fingers. There
Okay.
you go.
Okay.
Then we're going to drag and drop that white in there.
Okay.
Now with yours, go ahead and hit the arrow again, because we're going to move this thing around. With yours, I'd probably make it a little bit bigger, closer to mine. See, it takes up a lot more.
Okay, so
just drag one of those corners down.
corners.
Yep. And for this one, we want to keep it a circle, so go ahead and let go. And go ahead and double tap now. So go back up to your arrow again. We were on the freeform setting. If you go the next one over to uniform, this is going to keep everything in proportion. So when we started moving around with freeform, it started to become an ellipse. We want to keep it a circle. So now drag that corner out again. There you go. So now we're going to go ahead and move it over then to the side so it's closer to the edge here. Because basically we're going to make another one of these circles and it's going to connect for the eyes.
Okay, so move it this way.
So move it that way. Yeah, just grab it from the middle there. Yep.
There?
Yep, looks good.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead then and hit your brush again to lock that in.
Okay.
All right, now instead of doing this over again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate this. So let's go up to our layers here.
The 2 bucks?
Yep.
Okay.
And then on this white circle, we're going to slide this to the left. And then we want to go to duplicate. All right. Now that's duplicated, go ahead and go back to your arrow. And I'll click on uniform. Here we want to make sure that magnetic is selected down at the very bottom. What this is going to do is as we pull it over, it's going to make sure that they're lined up and one's not higher or lower than the other one. So once again, just grab them there from the center, just pull that off to the side. And you'll see that blue line. When you see that blue line, you know that they are lined up, and we kind of want them connecting there in the center, kind of overlapped.
Good.
Yep. Go ahead and let go.
But now he doesn't have part of a face.
But that's okay. So what we're going to do now to fix that, go ahead and hit your brush to lock it in. So you'll see those are off a little bit. So what we can do here is go ahead and hit your layers there. Now we're going to, while this one's blue, go down to this other one and slide that one to the right.
This one?
Oh, slide it as, let's see. You've got that one selected. So now don't touch this one. As you touch it, slide it to the right. So see, now you've got both of these selected.
Okay.
So now go up to your arrow again, and then just grab in from that side, just like you did before, from the corner box, and just slide up kind of diagonally there. There you go. Just make them a little bit smaller so they both fit.
Good.
Yep. Let go. There you go.
Okay.
So now you got your face back.
Okay.
So go ahead and hit your brush again to lock those in. So we've got the eyes in there. We've got the head. Let's go ahead and get actually, let's do the pupils next. I was going to do the beak, but let's do the pupils. So once again, make a new layer. So that plus button, pull up your layers there.
Okay.
And hit the plus. Actually, with this, it won't give you the plus because you got both of them selected. So just tap one layer, and then it gives you back that plus button. So just hit plus.
Okay.
All right, and back up to your color palette. And then the next one over for colors, we're on the third one there. So go ahead and select that one. And then once again, just draw a circle, hold down, other finger to lock it in. Do that.
Didn't connect.
Try it one more time. You can go actually inside. Watch this. If you go, instead of trying to connect them there, if you actually go further over, see this, it's still going to do it.
Okay.
Connected? Cool.
Yep.
Then drag and drop the color in. All right, now we're going to go up to our arrow again. So we're going to shrink this down. I'm going to obviously have to shrink mine down a lot more than yours. So once again, we want to make sure we're on uniform because we want to keep this a circle, and then just drag this down a little bit smaller. Just grab that corner and go towards, yeah. And then you can actually go out here if you just hold down outside to get it to the right spot. I'm gonna make mine just a tad bit smaller here. Maybe. There we go. And then want it just there pretty much in the center. You got yours locked in there. Cool.
So
all right.
hit what to lock it? Brush?
Just go ahead and hit your brush.
Okay.
Okay, so you're locked in there. So once again, we want to go ahead and with this one, let's go ahead and do the kind of the glow or the shine in the eyes. This is going to be super easy here. So if you just go up to your eraser and click on it once again, and just that bold inker, next one down. There you go. And then just click one time in the center, and it's going to do a circle. You might have to adjust the size of it. I'm not sure how big it's going to be.
Tiny.
Okay, so go ahead and make the size bigger.
How do you do that?
Make the size bigger.
This?
The top one here, that is for the size.
So
just make it, move it up to make it bigger. There you go.
Okay.
And then just try tapping that again. There you go. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a smaller one just underneath that. So go down and bring your size back down. Then I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Zoom in, just grab it and pull it in. There you go. And just a little smaller one under there. Make that a little bit bigger. There you go.
Yeah.
Might want to just back out once more and just try to tap it again, because you can get a pretty perfect circle. If you tap harder, it's going to get bigger too. There you go. That's pretty good. All right, so we got the pupil done. Once again, this one we can just copy and paste over. So go back up to your layers.
Okay.
And we're gonna slide that to the left. And we're gonna go to duplicate.
Okay.
So now you've got two. Once again, go back up to arrow, click on that, and then make sure that we've got the magnetic still selected and just pull over to the right. There you go.
Okay.
And then go ahead and hit your brush again, lock that in. So there we go. We got the face now. So next thing we're gonna do is the beak. So we will go back up then to our color palette. And then next color over is gonna be this yellow orange.
Okay.
Click on that. And we wanna make a new layer for this. Pretty much everything we're gonna do is gonna be on a separate layer. So go ahead and hit the plus button. Now with this one, we want it to be underneath the eyes, but we want it to be over top of the head. So if you click and hold down on this, layer 6, drag it down, and then let go there. Just click and hold down, and then, yep, let go. All right, so now anything we draw on here, it's gonna show up underneath the eyes. Those are gonna be on top, and then it's gonna be on top of the head itself. So, all right, so we've got that. Let's go ahead, going back to our brush. We got that selected. This one, let's go ahead and once again, just draw a circle. Which you can do it with your finger if you want, if it's easier. And now drag over the color to fill it in. All right, so obviously this doesn't look like a beak at all. So what we're gonna do is once again, go up to that arrow, and then we're gonna pull this up so it's down behind the eyes there. Make sure it comes up there behind the eyes. All right, that's good. And now we wanna go to, I'm gonna fix mine just a little bit because yours is in a better spot than mine is. So now we're gonna go to warp. And then from the center here, just kind of drag down. And it's gonna make that more of kind of like a triangle.
Is that big enough?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
This is fun.
I told you, it's not bad. All right, so go ahead and go back up to your brush then. All right, so we'll zoom back out. So that's what the head looks like right now. Let's go ahead and give him like little tufts on his ears, a little crown look up here at the top. So let's go ahead and go back up to layers. And this one we want to be underneath everything. So let's make a new layer by hitting that plus button again. And then we're gonna hold down, drag this all the way underneath that very bottom one.
Underneath the face?
Yep. And let go. Okay. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and go back up. This is the other thing I was getting ready to do, and you don't know this. So if we want to go back up to here to select the color palette, we can. Once you already have the colors laid down, if you hold down your finger on a color that's already there, it'll change the color to whatever you hold your finger down.
Oh.
So you can just hold it down and you'll see it'll change up there. Let go.
Okay.
So that's an easier way rather than going back into that color palette. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and do these little tufts there. So once again, let's just draw. This one can just be an ellipse because we're gonna change it anyways. So just draw your circle or ellipse or whatever it is. Just okay. I don't think it connected there.
It didn't. Okay.
Are you going all the way around?
No.
So you got to go all the way around because this is on a separate layer.
Okay.
So it needs to once again just
have its own. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So if it's easier, you can actually go just out here so you can see the whole thing. and you can move it later. So let's just do that. If you just go out here, just do that. You got it locked. Okay, there you go. So drag and drop your color in. All right, now we're gonna grab the arrow again. We want to go back to freeform, and then we just want to move this up here towards the top.
Drag it from here.
Yep, you can just drag anywhere. You can touch anywhere on the side. There you go. Now, if you want to resize it totally, like mine's too big, I'm just gonna pinch and zoom. If you see like this, you don't even have to grab the corners if you don't want to get it right. So I'm just gonna pinch and zoom mine to get it a little bit more.
Is that about right?
Let's see. Yep, that should be good. Okay, so now we want to go back to warp. And what we want to do is just kind of bring this down to the side here by pulling down on the corner. And with this, you might have to go further up here to be able to see
Up here.
the changes. Yep. There you go.
Okay.
And then we want to grab in closer to here and kind of pull it in. And this is going to be a kind of back and forth type of thing till we get to look right. And then just keep going back and forth till you get just that kind of look of that coming out. So what we want to do here is kind of grab this down a little bit more and just kind of keep working this back and forth. See, if you just keep going with it, see it has that more of that curve to it now.
Okay.
So that looks pretty good there. So go ahead and set the layers.
Okay.
Now with this one, let's go ahead, and this is going to make it super easy to do this. So slide to the left again, and we're going to duplicate that. Now let's go to this bottom one. This one's going to be sitting underneath. So let's hit layer 7 at the bottom. Now, so these are basically two of the exact same thing stacked on top of each other. What we want to do is bring this bottom one off to the side, and we're going to make it smaller.
Okay.
So that's going to be like two of the exact same things. So if we go up to our arrow there, and if we go to freeform, then we can just kind of drag this in from that corner.
From this top corner?
You can go from the top or the bottom. It's probably better from the bottom, because if you go from the top, it's going to hide it. There you go. Yep. Looks good. So go ahead and lock that in. Just hit your brush. Okay, so from here then, let's go ahead and go up to your layers. And let's go ahead and slide your other layer 7 here. Slide that to the right as well. And let's go ahead and group these. So this is going to be a new group now. Now we can duplicate this and just flip it over.
Okay.
So click on the new group. Slide that to the right, or to the left, sorry. And hit duplicate. Now we've got two of the exact same. So once again, go up here to your arrow. Now this is going to be a little bit different because we just want the same thing, just flipped over and mirrored. So if we hit flip horizontal, the very bottom here, that's going to turn it on its side. And then making sure we've got magnetic selected, just drag that to the right, making sure that that blue thing has it locked in. The blue line. Yep. There we go. And then just hit your brush, locks it in. So our head's pretty much done. So let's go ahead and zoom out now. Oh, other way. Hit cancel on there. And just pinch to zoom out. It looks like you got a couple spots there. So if you go back up to your layers, and here you can kind of find out what layers that those spots are on. So if you turn that off, that little box here means that it's either visible or not visible. So we can see that those dots were on that layer because when you click that off, they disappeared. So go ahead and hit that little box again on new group, and then just go up to your eraser up on the top menu, and then just erase those little dots there. Oh, it might not let you under the group, so go back up to your layers and click on just one of the layers inside that group. Turn that one on and off. Okay, it looks like you've got little dots on both, so go ahead and turn that one back on. Grab your eraser, go over there and just erase.
Okay.
And then go back up to your layers, go to that next layer, and then erase again.
Okay.
All right, so that's the head. Let's go ahead and zoom out then. So just pinch, there you go. So now we're gonna do the body. So let's go ahead and go back up to your layers. And the body's gonna be under everything else. So let's just go down to layer 7. Let's make a new layer, plus button. And then we'll have to hold down and drag underneath that. There you go. There you go. Okay, so this is gonna be your body. So once again, let's go up to our brush. And then I think we've already got this set. So the body's gonna be the same color. So let's go ahead and just draw a circle again here.
I think this was your...
Is it? Okay.
A whole circle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to lock it in, you can. I didn't lock mine in, but let's go ahead and lock it into a circle. Okay. And drag and drop the color over. All right, so with this, let's make it a little bit more of an ellipse because we're going to have him kind of from the side. So let's go ahead and hit the arrow there, and using the freeform, just kind of drag this so it's more of an ellipse. Then it's also going to be set a little bit to the left. So it's not going to be exactly centered. It's going to be a little bit more to the left because we're going to have it kind of a like 3/4 view. Okay.
Is that good?
Yep, looks good. So go ahead and hit your brush then. Lock it in. We'll see. All right. Let's go ahead and go to your arrow again because we want to bring it up just a little bit. It's a little bit too close to the bottom. So, go to your arrow. And then just grab that, yeah, right from the bottom and just go up with it. There you go. All right, that'll leave room for his feet now. So go ahead and hit your brush to lock it in. Let's give him a little bit different colored belly. So let's go ahead and go back up to your layers. And let's make a new layer again. Now this one, we want to have the belly kind of coming off to the side here, but obviously the belly is going to come out here if we just do a regular circle. So this is where some of the little properties of the layers come in and the options. So if you go ahead and hit and touch your layer 14, it's going to bring up the different options here. We want to go ahead and hit clipping mask. So what this is going to do, anything that we draw then on this layer, it's only going to show up the overlapping parts of this. So if it goes outside in the white, it's not going to show up.
Okay.
So now that we've got that, we need the belly to be a little bit different color. So let's go ahead and go to your color palette again there. And we're going to go to the next one over. That orange, it's just that kind of lighter blue, green color. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and draw an ellipse again, or a circle. Lock it in. If you want to do a circle, you don't have to. And then let's drag and drop that color. All right, now go up to the arrow there. And then we just want to drag this off to the side. And then just kind of adjust it around so it looks like that belly's coming up from that side. looks good. So go ahead and hit your brush to lock it in then. All right. So let's go ahead and give him some wings now. That's the next step. So once again, back up to your layers. And go ahead and let's see where we're at on this. We want this to be on top of the body, but we want it to be underneath the head. So I think honestly where we're at right now on this layer, if we just hit plus to make a new layer, we should be good. Okay. Now we're going to go back up to our palette and we're going to choose this darker green. So this is the end of our base colors. Those are all the color flats that we're using here. We're going to use these other ones to add in some shadows and highlights. So we've got that set in. So let's go ahead and once again, just make a circle or an ellipse. It's up to you. I'm just going to make an ellipse there. It's going to be closer to. Okay, and then drag and drop your color. All right, now we're going to go up to the arrow and we're just going to drag this up so it's behind the head, which yours is pretty close. Get up a little bit further. There you go. And then we want to go to warp. Or this to the right. And then just kind of pull it in to where it looks more like a feather coming down. So if you pull in from this bottom corner, pull that in so it's kind of angled. Just go up in with it. Yep, there you go. Now if you grab this top one now and drag that kind of closer that way. Yep. Then the bottom one here, you drag that in towards the center. And then the top one here, I'm going to drag that in a little bit too. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Hitting the brush then is going to lock that in. So we've got that side of the feather done. Now we need to do the other one. To do this one, though, we're going to have him kind of like he's waving. He's got the feathers up. So with this one, it's going to be a little bit different. So let's go ahead, go back up to the layers. Let's make a new layer. Plus button. Okay, and once again here, I think just a regular ellipse again is good. Okay, and then drag and drop the color.
Did my color change?
Yep, looks like it. So yeah, go back there. Drag and drop. Maybe not.
No, it changed again. Darn it. What am I doing wrong?
Click inside the, just, there you go. Now drag and drop it. Oh, I think you're holding it down too long. Go ahead and hold down, like select the color from there. There you go. Let go. There you go. Now just drag and drop it real quick. I think you're holding down too long because there you go.
Okay.
Because if you hold down too long, it'll go back to your previous color.
Okay.
So that's what it's doing there. So you'll see now, this one's sitting on top of the belly. We don't want it. We want it to be behind. So we need to move the layer down. So if you go back up, hit the layers. So this one, we want to be at the very bottom, underneath everything. So just grab this, drag it all the way down to the very bottom. There you go. So now it's behind there. Mine's super big, so I'm gonna have to change mine. Plus we're gonna play with it a little bit anyway. So grab the arrow. And like I said, mine, I'm gonna move it a little bit smaller for free form. A little bit closer to where yours is. Okay. So now what we wanna do is go ahead and go to warp. And we're gonna pull up here the top left-hand corner. Pull that up, just kind of towards there. You see it's starting to have that curve to it. And then the bottom left-hand, pull that one kind of up and in. This bottom one.
It's not doing.
Yeah, that way it'll overlap. So what we can do is pull your top one up. There you go. Then pull this back one out a little bit. And then if you want to grab yours from about right there in the center and twist that up, that might help yours get a little bit smaller there. There we go. And that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and lock it in here. Now, save us time. We're just going to duplicate these and make them smaller. We're going to have 3 different feathers. So let's go ahead and go back up to our layers. And this one, we're going to slide to the left and duplicate. And we want layer 16, the bottom layer 16. If you kind of scroll up, go back to your layers, just kind of slide, there you go. That layer 16, the very bottom one, that's selected. We want to go back up to the arrow and then switch back over to freeform. And then we'll pull this one kind of down a little bit.
From the middle?
Yeah. And then we want to start to shrink it in. And then what we'll do is go ahead and go to warp and then kind of just play with it here so that it looks like 2 separate ones, so it doesn't look exactly the same. Pull in just a little bit. So we want the top one to be the biggest. And sometimes if you grab one of those corners, it's going to overlap on itself and look all crazy. So you definitely have to just kind of back and forth with it. Now you're overlapping. I think with this one now, if you go back to freeform and just shrink it down a little bit. So pull it in from that top left-hand corner. And then pull it to, now grab the warp again. And just grab that top corner and pull it down and to the left. There you go. Should be good.
Okay.
As long as it's not too pointy, because we still want that kind of
It's
rounded
very
curve.
pointy.
So grab the brush again to lock it in. We'll see what it looks like.
It's very pointy.
I think it'll work. I think it's
Okay.
okay. So let's go ahead then and go back up to your layers here. And once again, back on this one, slide it to the left and hit duplicate. Oh, one more time. Okay. And then slide your stuff all the way down so you can see. And grab the very bottom one then. Go back up to your arrows. And then just drag, go to freeform again. And then just drag that one down. Shrink it in a little bit with the corners. There you go. And mine, I'm going to have to warp it a little bit. I think yours is actually really good right there. You don't even have to warp yours. So
Okay.
just going to warp mine just a tad bit. And there we go. So we've got the side one. Go ahead and hit your brush, lock it in. Sweet. All right, so let's go ahead and get the feet in. Let's go ahead and make, once again, a new layer. So go up to your layers, hit the plus button. Drag this one down underneath.
The 19.
Yep. There you go. Okay. And we're going to kind of zoom in here then. So we're going to do the feet down here. So let's go ahead and go back up to our colors and select that yellow orange that we did the beak. We'll go back to the brush, make sure we get the inker. All right, there we go. And then basically we're just going to just do a little oval down here at the bottom. Go ahead and fill that in. And then let's go ahead and go to the arrow and go to freeform. And then just kind of shrink this down. We just want it to be just like a little nugget of a toe. So we're going to do 3 of these then. Just something pretty much like that.
There?
Yep. Looks good. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and lock that one in. All right. Let's go back up then to our layers. And slide this one to the left. And duplicate. All right. Now we want this one to be behind. So grab 19, the bottom 19. Oh, hit your undo there because you got a line there. There you go. Back up to layers. That bottom 19 one, grab that. And then go up to your arrow. And then freeform, just kind of shrink it down from that back corner. Yep, just go up there. And then grab it outside. Just pull it there. So you just want it to kind of have that look to it. Yep, look good.
Oh, it's, I don't see the...
I'll just, grab it. Okay. And go ahead and hit your layers now. Oh, you can, pull it out that way a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
Hit your layers.
Do I have to lock it in?
Hitting layers will lock it in too.
Okay.
There you go. And then let's just slide this one over. Duplicate. I'm going to grab the bottom one. So slide up, slide your layers so you can see everything. Yep, grab layer 19 and go to your arrow. And then once again, just kind of move this one up and back. So we want this one to be the smallest one, but this one's going to be kind of hard to get to.
Oh, it's just moving that guy. Hold on. I think I got the wrong layer in. Because it's just moving him.
They're going to be the same one though. So grab it from the side. There you go. See? There you go. Yep, that looks good.
Okay.
And then let's go ahead and go back up to layers. Now let's go ahead and slide that layer 19 in the middle to the right. And then slide this one to the right as well. And then go ahead and group those. Now let's go ahead and that new group, click on that, slide that to the left and hit duplicate. Okay. So now what we want to do, kind of zoom out here a little bit, go up to your arrow again, and then hit flip horizontal. Then grab, you're already on the arrow, so we're good there. And just grab here, anywhere on the screen. You can drag that off to the side. Yep. I'm gonna twist mine a little bit, I think. If you go sled up there, hit magnetic now, turn this off. This will let you kind of skew it and twist it. So if you put both your fingers here and kind of twist and turn, yep, you can get a little bit different look to it. There you go, right there, it looks good. Oh. There we go. And then lock it in. And that's it, you're good.
Oh.
So that's the basic color flats, the basic shape of the owl. So from here, we're going to go ahead and do some highlights and shadows really quick.
Okay.
Battery's gonna die on this because this is taking a really long time. What do you think so far?
I think it's a lot of fun. I obviously need to practice.
Sorry. So let me change the battery in this and then we'll hop over to doing the highlights and shadows. All right, we got the battery changed. We are back. So let's go ahead and start adding some shadows and some highlights to this little guy. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's see where we want to start. Let's just work our way from the top down. So we got the layer menu pulled up. Let's go back up here to the top. And we're gonna go ahead, let me see which one we're on. All right. So we want to go ahead and pick this layer 7 here, the second one of the top group. Yep. So we're gonna select that one and turn that on and off so you can see which one we're on. That's gonna be that back one on the right. Okay, so we're gonna start adding in some shadows here. So for this, what we wanna do, let's go back up to our color palette. And we're gonna go ahead and go this next row down. This is gonna be the start of our shadows. So the farthest one to the left there. That's gonna be our first shadow. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and go to our brushes now.
Oh.
There you go. For this one, next pack down here on the left will be textures. So click that. And we're gonna use sand. So go ahead and click on sand. So once again, this one's part of my texture brush pack, which is available on Gumroad. I'll link it in the description. But honestly, if you want to find another texture that Procreate has for this, it's up to you. If you want to use this one, you can do that as well. But that's the one we're going to use. So we've got the color selected. We've got the brush selected. Let's go back up to our layers now. And we're on this one. Let's go ahead and touch that once.
This one?
Yep. And we want to select Alpha Lock. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to color in, and it only will go on that. So you can't go outside of it.
Okay.
It's just going to be on that. So let's go ahead and zoom in so you can see a little bit better. With this, you might have to adjust the brush size. But let's go back to our brushes now. We're on sand. There we go. Click in the center. Now with these, the brushes and the texture ones, and the way the iPad works with the Apple Pencil, it's all pressure sensitive. So the harder you press, the more color it's gonna have.
Okay.
The darker it's gonna be, the more texture it's gonna have. So basically what I do is I start a little bit harder, and then as you go, we're gonna have the light source coming in from this top left-hand corner. So like on this right-hand side is where the shadows are gonna be.
Okay.
So we're gonna start, and you'll see like if I color right here, it doesn't do anything because I'm not touching that color.
Okay.
So as I start to go in, back and forth, and go onto that color, it's going to start. See it?
Oh yeah.
And then you can kind of let up as you go in. There you go. So you get that nice little texture there. And it's got a little bit of a shadow. It starts to break everything up. And then we're also going to go down on the bottom and do that as well. So this way you can actually see that this head separates from that back. Yep. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and go back to our layers. We're gonna go to that top layer 7, and we wanna touch that once again and do Alpha Lock on that one so that we lock it in. And once again here, you can kind of start from the outside to get your stroke going, and then as you start to pull in, it'll start to do that texture on. And then just kind of start to let up as you go. Yep. And then once again down around that bottom, just so you can kind of see. There you go. Very cool. All right, so we've got that one done. Let's go ahead and go up to our layers menu again. And let's click on the head this time. And tap it once more and hit Alpha Lock. And with this one, you might want to make your brush just a little bit bigger because the head itself is bigger. So if you go there, make it a little bit larger. Okay. Once again, light source coming in this way. So this is going to be shadowed over here. So if we start to just kind of drag this around like this. Start to kind of build up that shadow. There we go. And with this, instead of going, just back out just a second there. Instead of like letting up off of, I don't know if it looks like you might be doing it. I'm not necessarily watching, but if you start to let up, keep the pencil down, don't bring it up. Just start to apply less pressure.
Okay. So
that way it's still one continuous stroke and you don't get the look that you like started and stopped. just keep it down and then just start letting up pressure as you go. But make sure when you're letting up pressure, you're not jumping the pencil off of the top of the screen. All right, so there we go. Very cool. Let's go ahead and do these over here now. So if we go up to our layers and let's go down to this layer 7 group.
First one?
Let's go ahead and do the bottom one first, the second. Yep, that one there. So go ahead and touch that one then, and then touch it again, and alpha lock. And then once again here, just kind of start to bring in this. There you go. All right.
That takes a little getting used to.
Yeah.
That's like, that doesn't look very good. That one's not bad.
That one's starting to get better. Yeah. So, all right. So now let's do the top layer 7 one. So click that one, hit it again, and go to alpha lock. That's the beauty of alpha lock. You don't have to worry about going outside the lines. It just keeps everything in there. So this one, we're going to do just mostly the shadow here. So that, oops, didn't work. So it kind of separates from the head. Yep. Looks good. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to adjust my nose or my beak real quick because I don't like it. It's just too big. It's coming down too far, so I'm going to adjust mine a tad bit before we get too far. Okay, there we go. All right, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and I think here what we want to do is we want to get a nice line across the bottom of the chin here.
Okay.
But it's going to be hard because these are 2 separate layers. Remember how we did the belly? So that one's different.
Okay.
So what we want to do is pull up your layers again. And this is layer 14 and layer 13. So, and this might take some getting used to. With your thumb and your index finger, grab those and pinch them together.
14, 13, 14.
Yep. Hey, you got it first
Look
try.
at
So
that.
see, that merges the layers. So now they're one. So we can go ahead and go to that one now. So click on that. And we're going to go ahead, click it again, and go to alpha lock. And then we just want to drag that underneath. Yep. Looks good. All right. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and give it a little bit more shadows down here at the bottom. So we'll follow this as it comes down underneath that and then down around his butt. Yep. Looks good.
Okay.
Okay, so we got that. Next up, let's go ahead and let's change our color now. So go back up to your color palette here. And let's go to that second row, the next one over, that dark one there. We got that now. Let's go back up to your layers. And let's do this feather first, this wing. So that's layer 15. So let's go ahead and click on that and click it again. And alpha lock. Now with this, we want to kind of follow along. See how we've got the shadow here? So we want to kind of follow along there. So it looks like that's one continuous shadow. So you kind of match it up
So
as
match those two.
Yeah, as you go along. Yep. And then we're going to pull that shadow down along the back of the wing too.
Okay, I gotta get the hang of the shadowing.
I think it looks good. You're doing good.
Okay, this is
All
so
right.
much fun.
So now that we've got that one, let's go ahead and work on the left one. And remember, these are all 3. And the reason we did them as 3 separate ones is because we can do the shadows on each individual one. It's going to look like they're stacked on top of each other. So
All right.
let's start with layer 16, that bottom one. And click that one again, hit alpha lock. And then for this shadow, we just want it to be underneath, so it's going to separate. And you're going to see it's going to give that almost like cutout look.
Oh.
Yep, there we go. Go back up to the next one then. Click on that one. And click it again. Go to Alpha Lock.
This one?
Yep. There we go. And same thing there. Just start coloring in underneath so it gives that layered look. One thing with you might be better holding the pencil further down. I don't know, because you're going really high to where it's
okay,
like getting a lot of friction between. So maybe that'll help. I don't know. And then let's go back up. Go to that top one then, Alpha Lock that one. And this one, I just really kind of want to bring it in here from the side, just like that. Just a little bit, not too much, because we're going to add some highlights in there. All right, looks good. So we've got pretty much all those shadows done. Let's go ahead and do the shadows for the beak next. So let's go back up to our color palette. And it's going to be that brown color there. And then go back up to the layers, yep. And pull down to your beak. Click on that one, click it again. Alpha Lock, so you're getting the hang of it already.
I know.
Go back to the brush. You know what I'm saying? There we go. And this one, we're going to kind of pull it around the eyes here and then around this back side here. Sweet. Then we're going to do the same thing with the feet then. So pull up your layers. And with these, let's see, let's go to, actually with these, I think we can go ahead and just combine these. I don't think we need to do them separate. So let's go ahead and just pinch these together.
The top there?
Yep. And then we're going to do the same down here. Pinch those together. With these, if you wanted to keep them separate, you could, and you could make them look stacked like that, but I don't think it's really necessary with these, so we'll do it just to kind of speed up time. So let's go to the top one there, click on that, go to Alpha Lock, and then we kind of want a shadow here. Oops, mine's really big. Shadow here that the body's giving off. Just kind of pull that there, down off to that side.
Oh. I love that I can just erase it.
So fantastic, right?
That's too big or too small, sorry. Trying to play with it as much as I can.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, now we got that one. Let's go and do the other foot. So that layer 19, click that one and Alpha Lock. This one we're pretty much just going to do it along the bottom here. A little bit up the belly. All right, looks good. So we've got those done. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do some highlights now. So let's go back up to that. Let's do probably the second layer 7, the top one.
This one?
The second one, yeah.
Okay.
That one. So let's go back up to our color palette now.
Do I have to Alpha Lock that?
That's already Alpha Locked.
Okay.
Because we already did that in the first step. So
okay.
Now we're on to the highlights. So let's go ahead and pick this third row bottom, first to the left there, and then just kind of go along the side of this one here. Just do a little highlight there. Sweet. All right, now let's go to the head. 1. Once again, this is already alpha lock, so you don't have to mess with it. And then I'm going to make this brush a little bit bigger since the head's bigger, and just kind of pull a shadow there along that left-hand side. Yep. All right, and then let's go ahead and go to the body. So layer 13. On there. I'm just going to kind of do a highlight there on his belly. That one you're not going to see as well because it's a different color. Remember, the belly was a little bit lighter.
Okay.
All right, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and go back up to our color palette, and let's do this kind of, off-white color. We got that selected. Go back up to your layers, and let's go to the beak layer, and then just kind of hit a little highlight there. You might have to make the brush smaller. It's pretty big. There, and we can do the same thing down on the feet. So if we go back up to layers, go down to layer 19, the very bottom one there, just kind of hit a little bit there. All right, looks good. Let's go back up to the color palette and the next one over, that blue there, or the bluish green. And then let's go ahead and go to that right feather. So layer 15. There we go. And then we're just going to kind of go along this front side just a tad bit. There we go. And now let's go to that top feather, so layer 16, the top layer 16. There we go. We're just going to kind of go along the edge here. Kind of pull that down. I want to make that one bigger though, the brush a little bit bigger on that one. All right, cool. The last thing we're going to do, because we're almost done, is we're going to work on the eyes a little bit, make those pop a little bit more. So go back up to your layers and let's go, let's see, layer 2, this top one. Go ahead and make a, click on that one, layer 2. Let's make a new layer. So hit plus. Now with this one, we're going to do a clipping mask because we want to draw here, but we want it on a separate layer. So with clipping masks, those allow you, it's kind of like alpha lock, but they allow you to do it on a totally separate layer.
Okay.
Alpha lock, you're doing it on the same layer. So this one, we're going to click on that and go to clipping mask. Okay. Now let's go to the color palette again. If you can see, there's a dark blue all the way over. Kind of hard to see, but there it is. So there we go. All right, so with this, what we want to do, kind of zoom in to get this eye really big. I'm going to move back over to the brush. Nope, you're good. Go to your brushes. And I'm going to go back to that bold anchor. So if you go back up to just that BJ Dell set there, bold anchor, there we go. Touch inside there. Now, in this, you don't have to worry about it being perfect because we're going to mess with it. So basically what you want to do is just drag around that circle like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just drag around that. And if you see here, it gets kind of thicker towards the back and then comes back in. So you might make the brush bigger with that slider. And then kind of like I said, start outside of here.
Okay.
And then as you get in there, just drag it around. There you go, that should be good. There you go.
Ah. Okay.
Okay, so now what we want to do from here is go up to this little magic wand. It's the first time we've used this so far. And the second one down, the blur. Hit that. And then tap your pencil to the screen and hold it down. And then slide to the right. And you want it to be probably about like 18, 19.
It's not.
Try it one more time, go back up. You'll have to select again. Oh, no, you're actually on there. Slide to the right. About 18 or 19, you'll see the numbers are right up there.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. So now what we want to do is going to be a little bit too dark. So we want to go back up to that adjustments layer. And we want to go to opacity. Top one there. And then just slide this to the left. Just to drop down the opacity so it's not as dark. It's going to start to make it look a little three-dimensional. I don't think yours is moving. Try it again there. Just hold down and then slide. There you go. Keep sliding.
What number do?
It's up to you. I would say probably right around there. Looks pretty good.
Okay.
You just want it to kind of have that three-dimensional feel to it.
Okay.
And then we're going to kind of move this over now. Then go back up here to your layers menu. And then we're going to click on that bottom layer too. And then make a new layer. Plus. And then go back to your brush, make sure we're on bold inker, and then do the exact same thing here, pretty much just like we did before, but we'll see what happens. We don't see.
Oh.
So we got to set that to clipping mask. So we got to make the new layer. So go back up to your layers there. Oh, you already made the layer. I just undid mine. So we got to set that to clipping mask first. Okay. And then just draw that little shape around the outside or the inside. And you can also just kind of, here it doesn't have to be perfect, so you can always just go back in here and just kind of like fill that in like that. I'm gonna back that out so you can do it. There you go. Since we're doing that blur, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want that kind of center to be a little bit thicker than the outside parts. It's just gonna look better. Okay, so now back up to the blur adjustments.
The second one?
Yep.
All right.
And just slide this one. There you go. Yep, that looks good.
All right.
Then back up to the opacity. Just drop it down so it matches that one on the right. So, yeah. Keep going.
There we go.
All right. And just hit the brush to lock it in. And we'll zoom out. Maybe.
Nope.
Oops. Try it again. Try to zoom out again. Oops. I'll make sure it didn't freeze. There we go.
Okay.
There you go.
As you can tell, I'm so good at technology.
Hey, look. And we're done. There's your owl. What do you think?
He's so cute. I can't even believe I made that.
So you're pretty crazy, right? So
I can't believe it. It's so cool.
It really just kind of goes to show you all those people that say, you know, oh, is it too late to start? And Procreate is a pretty awesome app. I mean, using the basic shape tools like this, you didn't actually draw any lines besides, you know, drawing those shapes in the eyes to do the blur. Like everything else was all just like drawing the shapes and using the tools.
I really can't even believe that I made that. This is the coolest thing I've done.
Sweet.
I love it.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing it.
I appreciate you teaching me. Yeah. This is awesome.
So let's go to the outro.
Oh my God, he's so cute, BJ.
All All right, guys, that's it for today's video. As always, thank you for watching. If you like today's video too, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell for notifications so you can alert when we post new videos, or I post new videos, or maybe we'll post again. I don't know.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I would love to do that again.
Do you actually think anybody's watching still? That was like over an hour long.
That was a long time. It was my first time. I can't believe I made that though. That was so cool.
Honestly, if anybody's still watching, thanks for hanging in there through the whole video. It's super long, but I think it's a pretty complete, like, basics to Procreate beginner's tutorial type of thing. So if you are watching, thanks. You win the prize for the day.
Yeah, you do.
So yeah, for me, I can be found online, bjdell.com, as well as on Instagram and Twitter at bjdell. Also, hop on over and join the Keep Creating group over on Facebook. I'll link it in the description below. Place where you can share your art, meet artists, friends, give feedback, get feedback. It's an awesome place to be, and want you guys to be a part of it as well. Anything else you can think of?
Thank you. This was fun.
Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, that's it. So until next time, keep creating.
Okie dokie.